Very active text line, which I love to see. If you want to join in that way to the show, 617-779-7937 is now the number over the last couple months for the text line, as well as if you want to call on the show, tell everybody that you want to see Mac Hollins cut. By the way, I didn't get to really address that because we were talking so much other stuff. I don't think Mac Hollins should get cut.
No, that's and his skill set 6'4", like no one else has, because I think they will cut Baker. No one else is going to have that.
He has total height priority.
Yeah.
Like he has height privilege, I should say.
And he's worked with Josh before, which I think, especially if they move on from Bourne or Bourne goes on IR, I think that does matter that he's worked with Josh before. And again, just positional fit. Not a lot of guys have that. The measurables.
I do think people look at Hollins' stats and they're like, this is such a jag guy, just a guy. Why do we have him here and paying him like 3.5 mil guaranteed? But I think Drake has targeted him a lot. I think he'll be good in the red zone, which you need. And I don't think that he's stealing a roster spot from somebody who is not going to be on the team or would be a practice squad player. That would be like so devastating not to have on here. I mean, look, Javon Baker last night was tough. It was tough out there for Javon. He looked really bad, and he looks like he's gone. Yeah. He looks like he's gone. It's unfortunate because he promised a big promise when he was drafted on draft night and said some wild stuff, and he has a lot of natural talent, and he just didn't get it. Absolutely didn't get it the first season at all. And now he's behind, and he just looks like he's somebody who I would say is probably gone.
Yeah, I mean, just again, you look at that receiver group, and it's Diggs is a no-brainer, obviously, Douglas, Booty, Hollins, Kyle Williams, and then Efton Chisholm. Like, are you really going to keep more than 6 guys? Like, I don't see that. You might have to keep 9 or 10 offensive linemen. I'm not keeping more than 6 receivers.
So I talked before about the drafts, and of course the drafts have been a problem in New England for like a decade at this point.
Yeah, you know, quick trivia question. You know the last time they gave a first-round pick a second contract? This is good.
A first-round pick?
A first-round draft pick getting a second contract from the Patriots. You know the last guy?
Gonzalez will get it in the future,
he will,
but I don't want to have dead air right now, so just tell me.
Donta Hightower. Drafted him in 2012.
That's wild.
Nuts, because Malcolm Brown, Dominique Easley, Sony Michel, Isaiah Wynn, N'Keal Harry, none of those guys. Mac Jones, Cole Strange. That's been their first-round pick since.
That is really tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
2012.
Good call, John.
Yeah. Our producer, Zach Coe, was in, like, preschool. Like, damn.
Is that true, Zach Coe?
I was 13.
You were 13?
Wow. You were born in 1999?
Good
for
yes.
Hell yeah,
it's
man.
It's a good year to be born in.
Best decade ever, the 90s.
Shout out to you for getting in on the 90s. Here's the 2024 draft. Let's go through this quickly, what you're thinking about it. Obviously, Drake May is a hit. Like, whether you have doubts that he's an absolute, top 10 quarterback, that's fine. But I think right now, as we're sitting here, you can say that he's a hit. Jalen Polk is on IR, as we learned yesterday.
Would have got cut, though.
So I think he would have gotten cut. I think he still might get cut next year. So it's a very tough on-ramp for him through the NFL. I'm willing to say that's a miss.
Yeah.
So you got a hit and a miss.
Traded out of Lad McConkey.
Go to Caden Wallace. Might be a depth piece. Hasn't showed himself to be of starter capability. Hasn't solved any of your problems. Trending a little bit more towards a miss than a hit to me. Layden Robinson, again, depth piece at best, somebody who came in with a lot of attributes that people were excited about, saying this could be somebody who helps out online, and closer to a miss than a hit, in my opinion, unless he really develops.
I think out of Wallace and Robinson, one of those guys makes the team, and I think
this
it's Wallace. Yeah, and I think it's Wallace.
You think it's I
think
like
their 9th offensive lineman.
Great. All right, so you have your 9th offensive lineman. Yeah. Do we say there's 2 hits there? Do we count a 9th offensive lineman
we call it a hit and a half.
Possibly 8-win team?
Can we call it a hit and a half? Is that allowed?
A hit and a half. Javon Baker, absolute miss. He's gone. Marcellus Dial, injured.
I still think he's also he would have been their 5th corner at best.
Yeah, but John, you just went through the last segment bitching about how there wasn't enough depth.
No, but I said their corner group is the one group that I think has depth.
Okay. So you say maybe he could have been a trade piece.
Maybe
he could have been like a trade for a 7th round pick somewhere. Fine. He's injured. I think you can put him more in the miss category.
Yeah, I would agree.
Joe Milton. So you traded Joe, and there's the Joe Milton experience that Ken Laird, our boss, is following very carefully down in Dallas.
He's not that good.
He's not. I'm not worried about trading the 6th-round backup QB pick away. I know that that's been a heroic position in the past, but not this guy. But would you call that a hit or a miss? Because you did trade him and get something back.
I almost want to say irrelevant. Like, I would lean miss because...
Like neutral?
Yeah, because you got something back for him, but he wasn't that good. And he won you the one game you wanted to lose.
Yeah,
so,
that's
week 18.
You know what? That I was about to say I'm going to give it to the Patriots because I feel like to be nice to give them another hit. But maybe you make a good point.
And I will say
winning that last game was so much worse than trading him and what you got back.
And they drafted him to be the backup quarterback behind May, and he is not that. Really, if you think what they drafted
whose fault is that?
What they drafted him for, he is not. So
this is true. Okay, Jaheim Bell.
Miss.
Yeah, big depth
let
piece.
You finish the sentence. That's a miss.
Okay, so that's so far. I mean, we have 1.5 hits from last year's draft. Yeah. And people will say, oh, why don't you wait 2 or 3 years to evaluate and grade the draft class? The Patriots don't have that luxury. And none of these guys look like, quote, developmental in my book outside of maybe Caden Wallace.
And you should wait 2 or 3 years to evaluate a draft
class.
Not
for wide receivers anymore.
But the problem is, if they're cutting the guys, that's kind of the final grade right there. Like, you know what I mean? And I remember... This is back in January. Fitzy and I had Chad Graff on the night show, and he talked to people in the Patriots front office, and they felt this was a good draft, and those guys were all coached poorly last year. Well, now you got, and that opened I was like, okay, but now you have Rabel and McDaniels and Terrell Williams and Doug Burke. You have a good coaching staff, and those guys still, I mean, are any of Drake May's gotten better. Have any of these other guys gotten better that are still here? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. So maybe it wasn't a good draft.
Maybe not. All right. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, I'm going to bring back one of my favorite segments because it has my name in it. There's a segment we used to do called Meg-splaining at the noontime hour. There's a movement in Boston, and I guess it happens every summer. It returns next week. People are going topless. Are you in favor, John Lyons? Don't answer. Don't answer. Leave the people waiting. On the other side, we're going to talk about Topless Day coming to Boston next week. What's behind this? It's a lot weirder than you might think. It's not just about getting naked. There's some pretty weird movement behind this movement. Yes, movement. Take that how you will. Right after this break.